Today we will see about packages. Packages are Java's way of grouping a variety of classes and interfaces together which are related to each other. Now, packages can be of two types. There are inbuilt packages that Java provides, as well as we can create our own packages. Now, Java packages that are inbuilt will be containing large number of classes or interfaces grouped into the package which are utilized for a particular functionality. The frequently used built-in packages are as follows. Now each of these are used will contain many classes and interfaces which can be used for various purposes. The java.lang package supports language classes. Java.util supports utility classes. Java.io will support input or output classes, and the AWT package is used for creating graphical user interface. AWT is the abstract window toolkit. You have the net package which is used for networking, and the applet package is used for creating and implementing applets. Now, in order to import a package, the syntax is as follows. Import package name dot class name if we want to import a specific class inside the package, or you can generalize it as import package name dot star, which means all the classes and interfaces inside this particular package. So two ways you can import a package. One is import package name dot the class name that you want to import, or import package name dot star, which means all the classes and interfaces within that particular package. Import is the keyword that is used, and this particular statement is followed by a semicolon which should be given as the first statement at the top of the program as before the program begins. Now, in order to define a user-defined package, the syntax is as follows. First, you have to use the keyword package and you have to give a name of the package. Suppose I am defining a package name, first package, then the syntax is package is the keyword, then first package, semicolon. Now, once I define a package like this, whatever classes and interfaces I am defining inside this package becomes a part of the package, first package. For example, this particular class, first class defined inside the package, is a part of the package, first package. Like this, you can define any number of classes or interfaces within this particular package, so that all of them becomes a part of that particular package. Now, if you want to use this package in some other program, then you can import this particular package using the previous statement, that is import, in this particular case, first package. And if you have to import a particular class within this package, then you can write import first package dot first class, which is the class within the particular package, first package. So this is how you can use this particular package within other programs. Now, when you define packages, there is a particular way you can define the variables inside each of the classes. That is, you can specify the access specifiers. That is, you can define where the particular variable can be accessed, whether it is within the same class only, whether it is within the same package only, or whether it is within other packages, or within subclasses within other packages, or the same package. So based on this, you can have different access specifiers: private, default, protected, and public. When you don't define any access specifier, it becomes the default access specifier. Otherwise, you have to specify the keyword private, protected, or public. In case you are defining a particular data, that is variable, as private, for example, in this particular case, there are two packages, P1 and P2. Now, class C1 and C3 belongs to the package P1. whereas the class C2 and C4 belongs to the package P2. Now I have defined a variable X as private inside the class C1. Now when you're defining any variable as private, that means it can be only accessed within the class in which it is defined. So X can only be accessed within the C1 class in which it is defined. It cannot be accessed within any other classes within the same package or any other classes within other packages. In the second case, when you are giving a default access specifier, that means you are not defining any keyword. That means the access specifier is by default the default access specifier. Now here in this particular case, X is a default access. That means X can be accessed within any classes within the same package. So X can be accessed within C1 as well as C3 that belongs to the same package P1. Now if I am giving the access modifier as protected, that means X can be accessed within the same package, that is within the classes C1 and C3, as well as it can be accessed within any other class in any other package that extends this particular class in which that particular variable is defined. That means if you have a package P2 which has a class C2 that extends C1, provided package P2 imports the package P1, then in the class C2 you can use the variable X because I have defined the access specifier as protected. So if you are defining the keyword protected, that means the particular variable can be accessed within all the classes and subclasses within the same package, as well as any subclass that is defined within any other package. Now in case you are defining the access modifier as public, that means it can be accessed within the same class, within any other classes or subclasses defined in the same package, or any other classes or subclasses defined in any other package. That means it has a public access. It can be accessed from anywhere. So these are the different access specifiers, and all this is based on the package in which it is being defined. Now let us see some inbuilt packages. Here I am showing an example using the online Java compiler. Now here I have used the util package. That means by import java.util.star, I have imported all the classes and interfaces within the util package. So all the utility classes have been imported here. Now within the particular class named hello world, within the main function, I am defining an object of a particular class named date. So date is a particular class that is used to retrieve the current date and time. So here I am retrieving the current date using the date class. So first you create an object of the date class. So date dt is equal to new date. Will create dt as an object of the date class. Now this date class is present inside the util package. So first you have to import the util package, and then you have to create an object of the date class. Now once an object is created, you can directly print the object to get the current date in a particular syntax that is already defined, as well as you can write a particular statement current date, and then you can display the current date using the date object, and this particular time you have to convert it to string. So dt dot to string will convert the particular date to string format, which you can append to any particular statement. So if particular statement is being used along with the display of the particular date, then you have to convert it to string and then display. Otherwise you can directly display it. So here I have displayed it in both ways, and I'm going to execute this. And the right side you can see the output, and here when you get the output, you can note that the output will be in the universal time. So this is the output that has already been obtained. And it shows the universal time. Now let's see another program where I am using another class which is called as a Gregorian calendar. Now Gregorian calendar is a class which helps us to retrieve the date, year, hour, minute, seconds and other minute details from the date object.